Era's Edge is a 2-player turn-based card game in which players battle the team of 8 unique heroes in a double battle format, using resource cards to deal damage, activate abilities, and move heroes in and out of combat. Each hero has 30 hit points. Whenever a hero takes 30 or more points of damage, it's defeated. The first player to defeat 4 of their opponent's heroes wins the game. There are 5 steps to begin each game. Step 1 is to sort the cards. Each copy of Era's Edge comes with 2 identical decks in 2 different colors, one for each player. Separate the hero cards from the resource cards. You may look at the hero cards, but the resource cards should remain face down and shuffled when you're done sorting the cards. As for the special ability card, keep it face down in front of your resource deck. Step 2 is to find which player goes first. To find the starting player, both players draw and reveal the top card of their resource deck. The player with the higher value card goes first. Once you find out which player goes first, shuffle all resource cards back into their respective decks. Step 3 is to build your team. As an optional rule for advanced players, each player is allowed to ban up to 3 heroes. Neither player is allowed to add these banned heroes to their team. Your team must be composed of 8 heroes, but other than that, there are no restrictions. In any case, keep your selected heroes hidden from your opponent. Step 4 is to select your starting hand. To do this, draw 5 cards from your resource deck to form Hand A. Then draw another 5 cards to form Hand B. You may then look at both of these hands. Select one of them to be your starting hand for the game, and then shuffle the other hand back into your resource deck. Keep in mind that every hero benefits from different cards, so you'll want to pick the hand that better suits your heroes. The last step is to choose your starting heroes. Choose any 2 heroes from your team and place them face down in front of you. These will be your active heroes at the beginning of the game. Then set the other 6 hero cards face down in a pile to the side. When both players have completed all of these steps, reveal your active heroes to begin the game. Before we jump into gameplay, let's discuss the 4 zones of play. The first zone is the active hero zone. These are the 4 active heroes in the center of the play area. Only heroes in this zone are allowed to spend actions and use abilities. You're only allowed to target any enemy heroes that are in the active heroes zone unless an ability specifically mentions otherwise. Some cards also mention an active ally. This just refers to the card's ally hero in the active zone. So in this example, the Berserker and the Phoenix are each other's active ally. The next zone is the hero reserve. At the start of the game, these are the 6 hero cards that are hidden from your opponent. These heroes are safe from all enemy interactions and they remain hidden from your opponent at all times. Next is the inactive hero zone. Whenever a hero swaps out of the active zone, it goes to the inactive hero zone. Notice how the hero reserve is inside the inactive hero zone. That's because whenever you swap in an inactive hero, you may choose to swap in a hero from your hero reserve instead. It's also important to note that whenever a hero comes out of the hero reserve, it cannot go back into the hero reserve. Instead, it goes into this inactive hero zone. On the topic of the hero reserve, each player is allowed to have up to 5 heroes in play at any given time. 2 in the active hero zone, and 3 in the inactive hero zone. If you already hit this cap of 5 heroes in play, then you cannot swap in a new hero from the hero reserve until one of your heroes is defeated. The last zone is the graveyard. Whenever a hero is defeated, it gets sent to the graveyard. Heroes in the graveyard do not count toward the number of heroes in play, and are used to keep score. As a reminder, once a player has 4 heroes in the graveyard, they lose the game. Now let's jump into gameplay. The first thing you do at the start of every turn is draw until you have 5 cards. If you already have 5 or more cards, draw 1 card instead. There's no limit to the number of cards that you're allowed to have in your hand. Next, some heroes have abilities that activate at the start of your turn. This ability activates immediately after you draw cards, but before you do anything else. Resolve each of your active heroes' start of turn abilities in any order if you have any at this time. It's also worth noting that some heroes have effects that last until the start of your turn. These effects end immediately after you resolve all of your start of turn abilities as well. Next, each hero gets 1 action that they're allowed to spend in one of 4 ways. We'll discuss what those 4 possible actions are in the next section, but for now, all you need to know is that you may spend these actions in any order. You may also choose not to spend a hero's action for any reason. However, any unspent actions are lost at the end of your turn. Once you've spent however many of these available actions you want, you have the option to discard any number of cards, including 0, to the bottom of your deck to end your turn. Notice that you discard the card to the bottom of your resource deck. That's because there's no discard pile in Era's Edge. Instead, whenever you discard a card, it goes to the bottom of your resource deck. If you ever have to discard more than 1 card, you may choose which order these cards are discarded to the bottom of your deck. Let's discuss the 4 ways that you can spend an action on your turn. Basic attacks, hero abilities, suit abilities, and swapping out. The first of these actions is a basic attack. Every hero in the game is allowed to perform a basic attack as an action. To perform a basic attack, you play 1 low card as damage against an enemy hero. Low cards have a value of 2 to 5, and they're identified by this upside down triangle symbol. You cannot perform a basic attack with any other type of card. It must be a low card. There are a lot of abilities in this game that allow you to play a card as damage against an enemy hero. To do this, take a card from your hand and place it next to the target of the attack in such a way where you can still read the value on the card and clearly identify which hero is taking the damage. This card is known as a damage card. If the target already has any damage cards on it, place the newest damage card in the same manner as before. Make sure that you can read the value on each damage card and clearly identify which hero has taken the damage. The total value of these cards indicates how much damage that hero has taken. As a reminder, whenever a hero takes 30 or more points of damage, it's defeated. The second way that you can spend an action is the hero ability. Hero abilities are the individual abilities that are unique to each hero. There are 3 types of hero abilities: active, reactive, and passive. Active hero abilities are the abilities that require the use of an action on your turn. They are always denoted by the words "as an action." These abilities often have an activation cost, meaning that you must play or discard a certain number of specific cards from your hand in order to activate. If you have no way of paying that activation cost, then you'll have to find something else to do with that hero's action. Reactive abilities are abilities that have specific triggers and effects. For example, the Juggernaut has a reactive ability that says whenever the Juggernaut defeats an enemy hero, that's the trigger, you may choose one of your active heroes to gain +1 action, that's the effect. These abilities do not cost an action to use, and can sometimes trigger when it isn't your turn. If that happens, you briefly interrupt your opponent's turn to resolve the effect of your ability, and then the opponent's turn resumes from where it left off. Lastly, we have passive abilities. These are the abilities that are always passively in effect as long as the hero is in the active hero's zone. As soon as the hero leaves the active hero's zone in any way, the effect immediately ends. Now that we've talked about basic attacks and hero abilities, let's move on to the next way that you can spend an action on your turn: suit abilities. Each hero has an ability that lets them get resource cards. This ability is determined by the hero's suit. You can identify a hero's suit by either a star or a circle symbol next to the hero's name to indicate a sharp or round hero respectively. Sharp heroes allow you to spend their action to draw 2 cards. Round heroes, on the other hand, allow you to trade 1 card from your hand for any 1 card from your deck as an action. Because you search through your deck for this ability though, you must shuffle your deck after using it. The last action that you're allowed to take on your turn is the swap out action. As an action, discard 1 sharp or round card to swap out an active hero for an inactive hero. Any sharp or round card will let you swap out any hero. You don't have to match the suit. If you use an action to swap a hero out, you must swap out the hero whose action you used. In other words, you cannot use one hero's action to swap out their active ally. Swapping is one of the most defensive mechanics in the game, so because of this, there's a handful of rules that keep swapping in and out balanced. The first rule is arguably the most important rule. You get 1 action to swap per turn. You still have to discard a sharp or round card to be able to do this though, it just doesn't cost an action. You may use this at any point during your turn after you've resolved any start of turn abilities that you have. The second rule is that all damage cards that are on a hero remain attached to that hero whenever they swap out. The third rule is that once you swap one of your heroes out, that hero cannot swap back in until the current turn ends, regardless of which player's turn it is. And the last rule is called action inheritance. Whenever a hero swaps out, they give up to 1 of their unspent actions to the hero that replaces them. This means that if a hero has 1 or more actions when they swap out, then the hero that replaces them will have exactly 1 action when they swap in. But if a hero has 0 actions when they swap out, then their replacement hero will have 0 actions when they swap in. With that, we've talked about all of the actions that you can perform on your turn, but we still have some rules to talk about before you can jump into a game. The first set of these rules revolve around defeating an enemy hero. Whenever a hero has 30 or more points of damage, it's defeated. Then 4 things happen. The first thing is all damage cards attached to that hero are discarded to the bottom of their respective decks. It is possible for your own damage cards to end up on your own hero, so if that happens, you discard all of your cards to the bottom of your deck and all of your opponent's cards to the bottom of their deck. Each player is allowed to choose which order their own cards are discarded to the bottom of their deck. Next up, the defeated hero gets a dying action. You may only use this dying action to perform a suit ability. You may choose to use this dying action either immediately or after you draw cards at the start of your next turn. In any case, move your defeated hero to the graveyard at this time. For what it's worth, if the hero that was defeated was the Martyr, his ability triggers immediately after gaining this dying action and before moving to the graveyard. Next is the special ability. Whenever you defeat an enemy hero, turn your special available card to indicate that you have a special ability. You can only have a maximum of 1 special ability at a time, so be sure to use it before you defeat an enemy hero. I'll go over what those special abilities are after this section. Very important note here, you only gain a special ability if you were the one that knocked out an enemy hero. The Martyr and the Phoenix both have abilities that allow them to essentially defeat themselves. In the event that this happens, neither player gains a special ability. Lastly, we have hero replacement. Whenever one of your heroes is defeated, you may choose to replace the hero immediately, or you can choose to replace the hero after drawing cards at the start of your next turn. This includes any cards that you would draw as a dying action. If you don't have 2 active heroes at the start of your turn, then you must replace any defeated heroes in the zone immediately after drawing cards at the start of your turn. Now let's talk about those special abilities I just mentioned. A special ability is your reward for defeating an enemy hero. You're allowed to cash it in at any point, including when it isn't your turn, to gain one of 3 possible benefits. The first option is that you can use any suit ability, even if you don't currently have a hero of that suit active. The second option is that you can swap out one of your active heroes without spending an action, a discard, or using your actionless swap for the turn. And the last option is that you can remove any damage card from one of your heroes, discarding it to the bottom of its deck. Once you've used any of these abilities, turn the special ability card face down to indicate that you no longer have a special ability available. Now, these special abilities do sound really strong, but there is a very important limitation on them. You cannot interrupt any hero's action, yours or your opponent's, to use a special ability. For example, if your opponent deals a killing blow to one of your heroes, you can't interrupt this attack to heal off any of the incoming damage. However, since special abilities can be played out of turn, you can interrupt your opponent before or between actions to use a special ability as you see fit. If you want to keep your heroes alive, you'll have to anticipate enemy threats and deal with them before they happen. The last couple of rules revolve around healing. Some abilities allow you to remove damage cards from heroes. This means that you're allowed to discard a damage card from a hero, effectively healing them by the amount that you removed. With the exception of the special ability card that allows you to remove any damage card, the phrasing is always remove the lowest damage card from whatever hero that particular ability targets. The lowest damage card is the damage card with the lowest value, regardless of which deck it comes from. And the last rule that we have to talk about is the heal limit. Once you remove a damage card from one of your heroes, you may not remove a damage card from that hero again in any way until the start of your next turn. For example, if you use the Golem's ability to remove one damage card from itself, then you cannot use either of the healer's abilities to remove a damage card from the Golem until the start of your next turn. This also applies to the special ability heal. If a card says move a damage card from one hero to another, this doesn't count as removing the damage card, meaning you can move multiple cards from the same hero regardless of whether or not that hero was healed that turn. And with that, that is everything that you need to know to get started playing Era's Edge. If you're interested in more videos about heroes and interactions in this game, then leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It's the best free way to support the game and show your interest. Thanks for watching and have fun playing Era's Edge.